Welcome in. It's finally here. It's finally Masters Week. I believe this is the first golf fantasy video that I've done, and there is no better time for it. This is the week that everybody's been waiting for. It's the week that is going to be the biggest across the industry. And as you can see, I have it up right here. DraftKings is doing a millionaire maker with $1 million to first place. Let's see what the other payouts are. $1 million to first, 100,000 to second. It goes all the way down to just getting your money back, which I guess because they assume a lot of people are satelliting in. I don't particularly like this. I would prefer that the payouts start at something like $50, just because it's a $20 buy-in for the first 14,000 people to just get their money back is a little lame to me. But it is what it is. I'm sure a lot of people sattied in for a couple of dollars, so $20 on maybe a $3 investment is going to be pretty good. But either way, this is the big week for it. Now, when DraftKings has events like this, there's they're going to try everything that they can to get as many people in this tournament as possible. So before I start, they're basically running a crazy promotion that I can't help but tout, which I guess is why they're doing it. Basically, if you refer someone and they deposit $5, I believe it has to be a new account. Both of you get a free entry into this tournament. So basically $45 worth of entries for $5. So if you like these videos and you appreciate following, and I appreciate you following, if you want to use my link, I will put it in the notes of this YouTube video. And you can always get my information at dailyfantasyrankings.com. I do have a little bit of a larger preview on dailyfantasyrankings.com for the Masters this week, but there are just a couple of guys that I want to go through here on the video. The post on Daily Fantasy Rankings I will update as more information comes out, because right now it's just Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So there might be some more information coming out. There might be some more stats that I want to throw at you before Thursday. So let's kick it off here. Now, the pricing is pretty tight, and the Masters is a very interesting event, because since it's the only major that is played at the same course every year, we do have a lot of course history on these guys. So that makes it really intriguing in trying to handicap it a little better. But really, golf ends up being a crapshoot. What you really need to do is you need to find six guys who are at least going to make the cut, especially with the DraftKings scoring. If one of your guys doesn't make the cut, it's pretty detrimental to your team. Let alone if two guys don't make the cut, you're kind of really behind the eight ball. So you're looking for six guys who can make the cut in my eyes. So basically, what we're looking for are a couple of players who are rounding into form at the right time and have good course history. When those two things come together, you can really make some solid picks. So let's get down to it. Off the bat, Rory is $2,700 more than anybody else this week. And while I think that he is, by far the best player in the world, it's going to be very difficult to roster him this week. I think it's mostly, in my opinion, there's not a lot of great value plays that you can stick him with. So basically, if you spend 15,000 on Rory, you now only have 7,000 for the rest of your players, and it gets pretty tight. I mean, you don't want to stock up on five of these guys down here, but there's really no great value plays down at the bottom of the list. These are really mostly just the past champions of the Masters that get to play, who don't have a shot at winning this. So it's going to be really hard to fit Rory into any lineups, although I do think he is, he's clearly the favorite to win this week. Now, moving right along, so there's a lot of studs up here in the 10,000 plus range. Bubba Watson is your epitome of a GPP play. He is boom or bust. He's played the Masters 6 times. He's won it twice and has missed the cut in the other 4. So I mean, it doesn't get any more boom or bust than that. Or I'm sorry, he hasn't missed the cut. Let me just check real quick before I tell you that. Oh, he hasn't finished under par the other four times. So he's made the cut, but hasn't finished under par in the other four times besides his two wins. So not if you catch him on a good tournament, you're gonna reap the benefits, and if he's struggling, he's gonna hurt you because he's 12,200. So roster at your own risk. Jordan Spieth, I mean, he's playing the best golf right now. He concerns me a little bit because he has struggled down the stretch of these tournaments lately. I think he took a couple of nervous swings this past week in Houston, blocked a couple of balls out to the right, but he's clearly playing the best golf in the world right now. For him to only be 11,900, I think he is a really solid play. I would get him in as many lineups as possible. I'm not going to go through all these guys, but I just want to talk about a couple more here up at the top. Jason Day finally healthy. Led 2013 was, I believe, the last time he was healthy playing the Masters. Was the leader after 36 holes. He's already won on tour this year. He hasn't finished worse than 31st in any tournament this season. He's got 4 top 10s, and he's looking for that major win. So he is, to me, a very good play. And then my other favorite guy who is above 10 grand here is Henrik Stenson. I do have a few concerns because he was sick last week, withdrew from the Houston tournament, but when he plays, he's been great. So I'm assuming that he's going to be completely healthy and ready to go for the Masters, and he's got 4 consecutive top 5s on tour, and he's primed for a deep run. So I really like Stenson. Okay, so those are your studs. And then the way the pricing is, it gets really, really tight here. I mean, there's only 1,000 or 2,000 separating the next, 40 golfers. So this is probably where it's going to be won or lost. Since obviously you can't pick, the top 5 guys, you can never roster them all. So when we get down to this middle section here, the, I would say 7,500 to 10,000 range, this is where this millionaire maker is going to be won or lost. So I do just want to pick out a couple of guys that I like. I will mention Tiger Woods. I don't know. Okay, he has looked terrible in every tournament he's played in the last 12 months. Clearly having some issues, but all indications about the practice round that he played yesterday, Monday at the Masters, was just phenomenal. The guy was, throwing darts from all over the course. Apparently one of the most impressive rounds he's done in a while. Now, can he turn that on when the flip switches and it's Thursday morning and he's got to actually compete for the Masters? I don't know. I hope so. I like the guy, but he is way too much of a risk to roster in this tournament, I believe, because I think the chances are he probably doesn't make the cut. But if you've got a couple of entries in this, I think you probably have to have Tiger in one just because his good is so good. Okay, Patrick Reed, $9,300. That's a pretty good bargain for a guy who is as fiery as he is. You can see that he's 11 for 11 on making cuts this year. Just really, really good, really solid, and he's the type of guy that I like because even if he's not really in contention on Saturday and Sunday, he's going to go out and he's not going to give any shots away, and he's going to grind over every putt. Which if he moves you up from say 30th to 22nd. Or 20th on Saturday and Sunday, and the rest of your lineup is pretty good, that could make a really big difference in how you finish. So Patrick Reed is a guy that I like because his game has been really good, and his just kind of the way he approaches the tournaments is good for fantasy golf. Continuing down here, Jimmy Walker is almost criminally underpriced. He flies under the radar, so I'm hoping that he's under-owned, but if you're looking at this and you followed any type of golf recently, he's going to be on everybody's roster. So 11 for 11 on cuts made this year. Let's look at his log. So he didn't play last week, so he's well rested. He played the week before in Texas, won the tournament. He is the FedEx Cup leader again this year heading into the Masters. Just been unbelievably good, and what is really encouraging is that he's only played at Augusta once. It was last year as his debut, and he tied for 8th. So for him to come out and put that type of showing together in his first time out, I think there should be plenty of confidence, and I really like him. Just to throw the rest of the stats at you, so for this season, he's 11-11 on cuts. He's got 5 top 10s and already 2 wins. So if you're listening to this, I mean, if you followed golf at all, he's going to be on everybody's roster, but he's just kind of stuck in here. I don't know. He could be under owned this week. I'm interested to see how many rosters Jimmy Walker gets on. Okay, continuing to go down here. I really like these two at 7,800 and 7,700. Jim Furyk and Keegan Bradley. Furyk is a guy. So I mentioned that you need your guys to make the cut. Furyk is that guy. So he might not win this thing, but he has played the Masters 18 times in his career. He's made the cut 16 times. Let's see. He's 5 for 5 on tour this season making cuts. He's got 3 top 15s. Okay, he's got 12 top 25s in the Masters in those 18 trips. So, I mean, he's just a really solid play. I expect him to make the cut. I expect him to finish around 25th. And for 7,800, that's pretty good. He's about as a lock as it gets to make the cut this week. Keegan Bradley, another guy who I think is rounding into form at the right time. So he struggled a little bit, wasn't playing very sharp, but he's 9 for 10 on making cuts this season. He played well last week. Let's check his game log. Tied for 5th last week in Houston. He faded a little bit on Sunday, but I just really liked his game. He was all facets were coming together, and you know, he has a major championship pedigree. He won the PGA championship in 2011. So I really like Keegan, another guy who I think could fly under the radar a little bit, even though he's a popular player. But just in terms of fantasy golf, I'm not sure how many rosters he'll be on. Ian Poulter is another guy. He is just turns it up for these big events, so he'd be a pretty decent guy to roster. So let's get down here. JB Holmes is having a great season, and he's only $7,200. I don't know if this pricing is just really wrong, or I mean, I guess it's kind of based off the Vegas odds, which have him. I don't have him in front of me, but I mean, he's not one of the favorites to win this thing. Let me see if I can find it. Not sure. So he ended up winning last week in Houston, a second at the WGC Cadillac. I mean, he's playing really well. He's got 4 top 10s this season. He did look a little nervous in the playoff last week, and kind of, you know, didn't necessarily win the playoff, but it kind of got lost to him. But yeah, he's been really solid, and I think he'll be in play. I mean, for 7,200, it's really tough to pass on him, to be quite honest with you. I'll just give you a couple more before this gets too long. Zach Johnson is a guy who has won the Masters before, so you know there's going to be good vibes there. He's been playing well. His advanced stats have been coming around lately. He had a tied for 9th at the Arnold Palmer. You know, when we see it all the time on the tour, where basically a guy who has won at a specific course, even if he's struggling, when he gets back to that course, things start to click. You know, the course looks good to their eye. It brings back a lot of good vibes. So Zach Johnson is a guy that I think could put together a nice little run this week. And then I'll give you 2 quick value plays before I kind of sign off here, because I don't want this to get too long. You can go to dailyfantasyrankings.com and get kind of the full analysis here. Kevin Na's 10 of 12 on cuts made this year. Only 6,000. He didn't play the Masters last year, but he's played it 4 times. He played it the 4 previous years before that, and had made the cut in his last 2. So, I mean, look at this. Just the last 4 tournaments he's played, a 20th, a 6th, a 10th, and a 9th. Like, that's pretty good. If he comes out and if he finishes 20th at the Masters, we'll be very happy for 6,000. So Nas a guy like, and then finally, Cameron Tringale is. I like this kid. He has all the skills. Really nice golf swing. He can do everything. He had a T5 last week. I'm concerned that this is the first time he's seeing Augusta National. He's never played the Masters before, so that is a little concerning to me. I'm worried that this stage might be a little too big for him, but he has all the tools. He's playing really well recently. Has only missed 3 cuts on tour this season, so he's a guy that I think could make a pretty decent run. And again, if he just makes the cut for $5,900, we'll probably be pretty happy with him. So there it is. Go to dailyfantasyrankings.com for my full my full analysis. Also, if you do want to play in this tournament, you can do it very cheaply for $5. Go to Daily Fantasy Rankings, follow the link in my post, just sign up with a new account and deposit $5 into it, and we both get this $20 entry. So it's a win-win for everybody. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope somebody wins the million. See ya.